Iawn, okay. Tra, see you next week. Bye, hwyl wan. Tra. Oh, take care. Ta-ra. See you Thursday. Da iawn. Whew.
That was a good class, wasn't it?
Yeah, how did it go, Claire?
As our classes always go, you never know what to expect. You know, it's like when that gentleman was talking about how it makes him feel. It was amazing, wasn't it? The fact that before coming in, he felt like he had the world on his shoulders. And then through exercise, it takes his mind off all of that because he's focusing on what he's doing. All that is taken away, and I think that's fantastic that exercise can have that effect on somebody.
Yeah, I spoke to him afterwards, very quietly as he was going out, and I said to him, oh, so you said you had the world on your shoulders when you came to the class. What have you got on your shoulders now? And he turned around and he went, nothing, my shoulders are clear.
Oh,
Big
nice
smile on his face. Yeah.
That's amazing, isn't it? That
so you did a great class though. I loved all that work that you were doing with the brain health. That was great. That was great. So Claire, your classes, you know, and Leah, you know, they're so varied, they're so flexible, aren't they? So if you had to say to somebody now, describe to someone now, what is Dementia Active? You know, somebody that doesn't know anything about Gwynedd, North Wales, what is Dementia Active? How would you describe it?
Oh, where do you begin? It's one of them. It's fun. It's heartwarming. It's uplifting. It fills me full of joy to see these amazing people coming to classes. They just come in, and to me, they're just a group. Dementia doesn't come into it because they're just here to enjoy, to get active, and be social and to talk to other people, which is a big part of it, isn't it? Talking to other people.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely agree. So what sorts of activities do we do?
Well, I can plan an activity and I can get to where I'm going, and it is just blown out of the water because at that moment in time, whoever's here might not be in the right mood or have a rough week or whatever. So you have to just go with the flow, you know, and then from there we just work it in, and then we do activities as we go along. But we have to also give them time to come round to that as well. It's brought into the conversation, and then it's just part of our meetings together.
Yeah. Okay. So what are the type of activities that we do now?
Well, it can vary. We can do bocce, we can do bands, and it never ceases to surprise me, honestly, how willing and enthusiastic the group is to learn new things, to try new things. They never shy away. They're always up for it, and it always surprises me how open they are to learning all these new things.
Even though they complain about it to begin with, yeah.
Well, they don't realise as the class goes on that we are doing exercise, because we're talking through it, we're laughing through it, we're singing through it, and before we know it, we're through the end, and it's tea time. So they're doing it without even realising.
So you do exercises though to help strengthen balance, don't you, which obviously helps with preventing falls, just stamina. I know I love the stamina stuff that you do with the music.
Music, big part of music, very big part of music. And playing songs as well that they remember is a big part of it. And luckily for me, because of my age, my mum always used to have the radio on, and so I know a lot of these songs.
Yeah, you do.
And it comes back into play.
So you use music to get people moving, you use music to help improve their stamina.
Stamina, strength, coordination. We do all the brain activity ones where arms and legs are going in different direction, and it's fun because we all laugh at each other doing it, because there's no right, no wrong way. It's just muck in and have a go, and I think that's a big part of it as well. There's no right or wrong way, just take part.
Yeah, that's really important, isn't it? Beth amdana chdi, Lia? Sa chdi'n gorau disgrifio beth i Dementia Actif i rywun sydd rioed y clod amdano fo o blaen? Sut sa chdi'n disgrifio fo?
I ddechrau, swn i jyst yn dweud dosbarthiadau sydd hefo gweithgareddau ymarfer corff, mewn environment hollol chill, lle mae pawb yn dallt ei gilydd, sa'n pwysau neb i wneud yn byd, mae nhw'n pwysau'n lefel eu hunan. Fel y Clare yn dweud, yn ei gwneud bob math o weithgareddau. Lot o hwyl, lot o chwerthin, pobl yn symud i corff, cadw'n actif heb hyd yn oed sylwi bod nhw'n neud o. Ond dwi'n meddwl yr rhan pwysica ydy'r panad ar y diwedd. Lle mae pobl yn dat i gilydd, just rhannu straeon, helpu i gilydd, ar ôl gwneud yr ymarfer corff, ond weithiau mae'n gacan hefyd.
A dwi'n meddwl efo'r cacan hefyd, mae hwnna yn gwneud rhywbeth i'r carers meddwl amdan, bod nhw'n dod i dosbarth a mae'n rhoi rhywbeth yn meddwl i wneud rhywbeth i rywun arall. Werach bod nhw'n sownd yn y tŷ trwy'r wsos a maen nhw'n jyst rhoi pwrpas yn y diwrnod iddyn nhw i meddwl amdan, o, mae gen i ni dosbarth i Gwynedd, na i wneud gacan i pawb. Cos pryd ti adra a ti jyst cwcio un person, ti'n neud yr un peth dwi yn. So mae'n jyst neis cael rhywbeth arall i meddwl amdan a neud o i pawb i rannu.
Wel, mae'n un o'r ffyrdd i llesiant dydy, i'r rhoed, to give. It's one of the 5 ways of well-being. So yeah, that is an important, yn bwysig dydy.
Dwi'n meddwl beth sy'n dda hefyd am sesiynau ni ydy bod ni'n cynnwys gofalwyr teuluoedd a dim jyst y person sy'n bod dementia. Mae cadw'n actif yn bwysig i bawb. Felly mae'n gret bod ni'n cael y gofalwyr, y person efo'r diagnosis a pwy bynnag arall sy'n consume yno.
Yeah, but we still have the carers coming even though their partners may be in a care home or have passed away. It's because of that family feeling, the group feeling, the connection, that they come back and they're still with us now years down the line, which is amazing.
And they're kind of our unofficial support workers, aren't they? Because they share a lot of their... So now, at this moment in COVID recovery, really, we've got 9 classes running in different facilities throughout Gwynedd, haven't we? Yeah. And we're still doing our online, so we've still got 2 online classes. And we've got 1 care group, support group, and we still do our one-offs. We've got a Halloween quiz coming up on Friday, I can't wait for that. Yeah, so lots of variety, a safe place for somebody to come to be themselves, and we've heard people saying that they can be themselves when they come to the classes.
They can say anything that they want to say in here and it stays here.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. So I have a couple of other questions I thought of asking just while we've got this chance to have a little get together, yeah? So what benefits have you seen? So people that come to the class, people living with dementia or affected by dementia coming to the class, have you seen any specific benefits? I mean, I think we all know the general benefits of keeping active, haven't we? But have you got any examples?
Yeah, it was only, not last week, the week before, one of my group came up to me and said that she'd been having terrible difficulty getting up and downstairs. Was having to take them one at a time because she was having terrible hip pain. And within 2 weeks of coming back to class, she said she's not having the pain in the hips and she's managing to get up the stairs. Yeah. So much easier now. Yeah. And then another one of my ladies has got quite a steep path coming from her house up to the top of the road. And we do sit-to-stands, all these strengthening of the big muscles.
What's a sit-to-stand? Show us a sit-to-stand, Claire.
You're making me work now, okay. Front third of your seat, your tummy's pulled in nice and tight, your knees are over your ankles, and it's literally lifting from the chair and making sure the chair's there, and we're lowering back down.
Okay, another 100, please.
Challenge. But she says that doing these exercises in class, especially that one, has kept her being able to walk up the path to get to the car to come to classes. So, and there's so many more that you just tend to listen to when people are talking, but you don't actually take note. But these are the ones that were just recently in the last couple of weeks.
Oh, there was a lady in the class today, wasn't there? She was saying that over the lockdown that her balance had got really bad. Yeah. But then she wanted to show us how well she was doing. So she's just coming back now, what, 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks? Yeah. And it's already, she's seeing the difference, isn't she?
Yeah, definitely.
Amdana chdi, Lia? Ti'n gallu meddwl am rwy?
Ie, dwi'n meddwl, dio ddim just y benefit corfforol. Dwi'n gweld gwahaniaeth yn hyder pobl, a mae'n bendant sy'n codi mwd rwy'n. Fatha bora mae tywydd yn bach yn glawio, dwl, a eich bod pobl yn dod yma, fel oedd y dydd gyda'n dweud, cario pwysau'r byd ar ei sgwydda. Ond wedi bod nhw'n chwerthin, maen nhw'n gwneud pethau ar eu traed, eich bod nhw'n meddwl bod nhw'n gallu gwneud, so mae hyder nhw'n codi. Ond hefyd, mae pobl yn siarad mwy, a mae'n dod nhw allan o tŷ. Ond dwi'n meddwl am un dyn yn benodol lle. Dwi'n meddwl dim sgwrs adra fe wraig o gwbl. Mae jyst yn gwylio teledu, cadw hun efo ei hun lle. A pan mae o'n dod i'r dosbarth, dwi'n meddwl cymryd dim rili pasio bel iddo fo. A mae'n dechrau siarad, mae'n agor fyny, mae'n hollol wahanol, mae'n provocio fi. Ond mae'n hollol gret. A dydy wraig o sef o gyfalwr, ddim yn coelio'r gwahaniaeth. A dwi'n meddwl bod hynna'n rili neis iddi hi hefyd, bod hi'n gweld sut mae o lle yn cael hwyl. A mae gennym ni un peth da ni'n neud weithiau diwedd y sesiwn efo panad, ydy yr memory ball, lle mae rhywun yn dal pel a mae yna wahanol topics sy'n bethau i gofio dos. A mae jyst yn anhygoel sut mae pobl yn dod at atgofion, reminisio am bethau blynyddoedd yn ôl, pethau eich fysa ni'n disgwyl o gofio eich. A siarad am yr un dyn, dwi'n meddwl gafodd o'r topic y wedding memory neu rhywbeth. Ac oedd be oedd yn gofio am y brodas yn anhygoel, ac oedd ei wraig o jyst yn ista mewn coelio be oedd o'n dweud, ac oedd hi jyst yn emosiynol i gyd, ac wrth i bod clywed o, methu coelio'r gwahaniaeth sy'n mae'r adra. A dim jyst sôn am hynna, oedd ymlaen wedyn, i sôn am yr adag gathon ni Australia, gweithio fanna. So, mae jyst yr effaith mae gael ar nhw yn psycholegol hefyd, dwi'n meddwl, mae jyst yn, ie.
Wel, da ni'n gwybod os mae unrhyw symudiadau yn gallu helpu efo canolbwyntio, dydy. And something really interesting, I know I've shared this with you before, that I was reading this morning, about how any movement can get these neurotransmitters working, which get the happy hormones. You've got your serotonin, which is going to make people feel a little bit less depressed or a little bit less anxious. But the article I was reading this morning, and this has really tickled me, how movement and being physically active can be like neurochemical bubble bath. So I think, I like that one. I really like that one. It makes physical activity sound like something really, really good.
It is really, really good. Yeah. I'm constantly in a bubble bath.
Yeah.
I just love it. From my exercise, it just lifts me. And people say to me, why am I so happy? And I think it's because I'm always singing, always moving, always dancing, always exercising, that my happy hormones are always bouncing around, so which is great in the winter months.
But I think it's interesting as well, because, as you said, any movement, it doesn't have to be a structured exercise class.
No.
Just being active, moving your body, people tend to think, oh, I haven't exercised for many years or whatever. But it's just movements and just keeping active. Yeah.
So do you know what we all know what the recommendation is, isn't it? To benefit our health, we need to be aiming for about 150 minutes a week of exercise, which can be broken down to doing short 5 to 10 minute slots all through the day, isn't it? Yeah. That's important, but like you said, Leah, any movement, if it's really horrible out there, and you just don't want to move, or even walking around the house is going to have its benefits, isn't it?
It's like in my class last week, we started off working behind the chair and we did a bit of balance and things like that, and then we were marching, and what started off as a march ended up as a line dance. So on with the music, and I had them line dancing, and then I had some shakers with me, so I gave them all the shakers. They were throwing lassos around as well, so we were lassoing as they were marching and doing a bit of line dancing. So you never know what's going to happen. I think that's the nicest part. It's so spontaneous. It has to go with the flow, and we have to work with the carers and the people who come to our class. And if we work with them like that, then you can't fail. It's working with your group.
Yeah. Getting to know them is really important.
That's another one with the ball that we use. Hang on, we have a ball which we bounce around. And it's nice. I learn things about people. No, I can throw it to one of the guys and I'll say to them or ask them to tell me one interesting fact about themselves. Have you got one, Lia?
Oh God. Mine's so random that I can make up to 4 poached eggs at the same time.
Brilliant.
I never did that about Leah. I once did a warm-up for a group of people up at 4,000 metres in the Himalayas.
There you go.
Did you know that?
Not quite the same as my fact.
So, I'm not going to say it because it's my game.
Ah.
And this is a nice way of getting to know your group. You find out things, like the other day I had a gentleman who said he used to run marathons. Well, I didn't know that then, but I know it now. And it's nice that you can tap into this and talk to people about what they have done in the past, what their hobbies were, what they enjoy doing, and you learn so much about your group, and that's a big part of knowing it.
Dwi'n cofio yn un o'r dosbarthiadau, oedd 'na lady yn fan'na. Oedden ni siarad amdan gwahanol chwaraeon. Dwi'n siŵr bod chdi'n cofio hwn, oedden ni siarad amdan gwahanol chwaraeon. Ac oedden ni'n dangos lluniau. Ond nath i ddod ata fi ar ôl i ni fod yn dangos gweld y gwahanol lluniau mabel gampau'r ysgol o bethau. A nath i ddod, os am lluniau hoci. A wedyn nath ni ffeindio allan bod hi bod yn chwarae hoci lot pan oedd i'r ysgol. So, be nath ni yr wsos wedyn oedd creu ymarfer cylchol circuit training. Ond fel rhan o hwnna, oedden nhw'n gorfod driblo pel i lawr y neuad ac yn ôl. Ac oedd hi wedi gwirioni, ac oedd hi'n rili da fyd. So, nathon ni ddysgu tipyn bach amdani hi, a nathon ni cynnwys rhywbeth o hi licio yn y dosbarth, oedd hwnna dda fyd. So, sôn am bethau fel so oedd hwnna'n dipyn o surprise i ni, hwnna am bod ni ddim yn gwybod bod hi wedi bod yn chwarae hoci a bod yr sgiliau na dal gynnu. Da chi wedi dod ar draws unrhyw adag lle, neu Lia, ti wedi dod ar draws unrhyw adag lle mae yna rhywun efo dementia wedi spreisio chdi?
Ie, reit aml, really. Dwi'n meddwl y peth mwyaf ydy bod fi'n surprised yn gweld pa mor surprised ydy nhw yn ei gallu nhw i wneud pethau. Ella bod nhw'n ddeddol o feddwl, o, fe dwi'n gwneud hynna ddim mwy. Ond tan maen nhw'n rhoi gôn ni, maen nhw'n briliant, a mae'r gallu yna, ella bod nhw angen bach mwy amser, bach mwy o anogaeth, ond maen nhw dal yn gallu gwneud. A dwi'n meddwl bod hynna'n bwysig, bod ddim teimlo bod nhw'n colli bob dim, a wrth nhw'n gael ymlaen mewn hyder nhw'n codi. A rhywbeth arall sy'n surpreisio fi ydy y gwahaniaeth mae'r gofalwyr yn gweld yn y person ar ôl mynd adran yn dilyn y dosbarth hi. Ella bod nhw'n siarad y gwbl, ond ar ôl y dosbarth maen nhw'n siarad, maen nhw wedi mwynhau, a mae gwybod hynny, mae jyst yn...
Ie, dath ni glywed bod un o'r dynion yn llawer mwy alert yn dod. What about you, Claire? Are you ever surprised by anything that you see somebody living with dementia?
Not specifically, but like I said, I think I mentioned earlier, they surprise me in the fact that they're always so open to learn new things, whereas a lot of people expect people with dementia to be sitting there and not doing an awful lot. But it's not like that. They want to learn, they still want to improve, they still want to do new things. And it always surprises me the fact that it's always that willingness and enthusiasm to learn something new.
And I think that's kind of driven our programme forward, really, hasn't it? Because it means that we're always striving for new things for people to do. You know, like we took a group out to do some forest activities, didn't we? You know, and we sat around the campfire and had a little walk, and we created a bird feeder, didn't we? You know, and that was something which is totally new for us. But I think their willingness, and we've learned a lot from people, I think, as to what to include in the activities.
Definitely. Yeah. But you also give them a voice.
Yeah.
We don't decide we're doing this, we're doing that. It's always a whole group decision, or groups. It's never just one group. They're all included in it, and what they want to do and what they would like to do. It's what we come along with and offer to them then. So it's always their decision as well when we go out and do activities, what they would like to do. which makes them, I think, feel important that they are actually deciding to do something rather than people telling them what they're going to do. They're having the decision of what they would like to do, the choice.
Yeah, well, as I said, that's what drives us really with the programme, and it makes us a bit more creative, I think, doesn't it? You know, so we're not stuck in a room just doing strength and balance exercises. We're prepared to take risks safely,
adapt,
get them out there, and do various things, really, isn't it? Great.
Like we say, where there's a will, there's a way, and we adapt to make sure that everybody's included. You know, it's like we were playing bocce one day, and one gentleman wasn't having a good day, and he wasn't able to roll the balls, but he was able to turn the paddle to say what colours he could do. So he's still being part of the group and still doing something very important by conducting the rest of the group by his little paddle. So everybody's always included and they always have a choice.
Yeah, I don't think I'm actually surprised by what people can do now. I think we've been doing this job for 5 years, like I think we've kind of seen. But what always amazes me is that, you know, when we put maybe special events on, or if we promoted some of our things on social media, and you know, it's a couple of years now, pre-COVID, isn't it? We had that dance that we did with Russell Grant, so he came along and showed us some of his Strictly moves.
It was more about Russell Grant did a dance with us last time.
Yeah, but what amazes me with those events is other people surprised as to what people can do. So, you know, I've often had people that stop me in the street and say, "Gosh, I didn't know people with dementia could still do that." Which now that surprises me, because you know, to me, we're just so used to what people can do and what they can achieve. But I think by doing these and by promoting them, it's definitely helping to get rid of that stigma. And I think, you know, that's worked, hasn't it, over the past few years, isn't it?
We're still chipping away at it.
I think we will be for a while, but definitely. So, if you've got people out there who have been diagnosed with dementia, but want to get more active, maybe they used to be active before, maybe they've never been active at all, but they want to get active. So, what advice would you give those people? What do you think people need to know? Shall we even say?
Good question. Dwi'n meddwl I roi gor ni, a os dyn nhw ddim wedi bod yn berson sy'n licio ymuno mewn clybiau, dosbarthiadau, bendant roi gor ni. Mae yna bobl yna sy'n dallt be ydych chi'n mynd drwy, fel da ni wedi sôn gyna, mae lot o hwyl, ond dwi'n meddwl bod yr ochr cymdeithasol na iddo fo, so bod pobl yn cadw'n actif, a yn cael cefnogaeth pobl eraill yn y grŵp yn rhan mawr.
So ti'n siarad am grŵp ni wan o dwt?
Unrhyw grŵp chwilio am grŵp sydd allan. Ond hyd yn oed os dos da ni'n grwpiau, ewch am dro, ewch ar beic, ydych chi'n mynd i basio rwy'n i ddweud helo, eich os ydych chi'n gweld neb yn eistedd ty. So cael y hyder yna, a nath rwy'n disgrifio cael dementia, fatha new lease of life, a eich bod chi'n mynd berson mor fywiog o blaen, ond bod chi'n gwneud y gorau yna fo a gweld o fel cyfle newydd i drio pethau newydd a bendant cadw'n actif.
What about you, Claire? What would you say to people who, you know, want to start getting active again?
Have a look what's going on in your community, see if there's anything out there and give it a go. You know, unless you try something, you're not going to know. Even maybe your neighbour's got a dog, give them a knock and say, "Are you going for a walk? Can I come with you for a walk? Have a dance?" You know, and go into a group. One of ours said that when they were diagnosed with dementia, they thought it was the end of their world. And then they came along, we got in contact, and it's opened doors. We have given them their life back, and I find that quite, and that they've become part of our family. We're one big family. And unless you take that step forward, take that initiative to do something about it, you need to do something about it. Get out there, find what's out there, and just give it a go.
Yeah. And I think looking for something that you're interested
Yeah,
in
yeah,
will always
part.
help, won't it? Because I mean, if you try and do something, if you decide to do circuit training and it's something that's not really for you, you're not going to stick at it. But I think walking is always a good thing. I mean, we can all do it, but I think what you were saying about maybe going and find someone to do it with, having a buddy to go and do it with, that's always a great way of getting more active, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have a buddy because you can kind of encourage each other then, can't you?
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's a big part of sticking to something as well for me.
Yeah, I think so.
An arrangement with somebody to meet them somewhere, you're more likely to go then. Otherwise, you might just go, well, it's not tonight, it's raining, I'm not going out. But if you make the appointment with somebody, just say, come with me, or I'll meet you there, you're more likely to go.
Yeah, definitely. What about other tips? Have you got any other tips to get active?
Find something you enjoy doing, whether it's dancing, whether it's walking, whether it's swimming, whatever. And unless you try it, you're not going to find out. So give everything a go once, and then look across the board and pick which one you prefer most.
Yeah. And I know you were talking about seeing what's in your community.
Yeah.
I think that's really important, and also to have a look to see if your community or communities near you are dementia friendly.
Yeah.
You know, maybe some of them will have gone through the process with the Alzheimer's Society, so we'll be aware of activities that can specifically support you, and that's a good one, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Just get out there and have some fun. Life is for living. Get up and do it.
I don't know if we've got anything else to follow.
That's a nice way to finish.
Just move.
Yeah. Get those bubbles going. In the bubble bath.
Come and join me in my bubble bath.
Yeah, and I think also, if you're watching this on the website, that all the other headings on the website, being active contributes to all of them. You know,
so what were they? So we had staying connected. Well, yeah, definitely as part of staying connected is a very important. We've known that with COVID as well, haven't we? Yeah. Keeping a sense of purpose. We've heard lots of people saying that coming to the class once a week gives them that purpose, gives them something to look forward to.
And it's the first thing that they put in the diary at the beginning of the week when the classes are on. That's the first thing to go in.
So it gives them that sense of purpose, isn't it? Staying active and staying positive. I don't think we allow many people to leave the class and not feeling positive somehow, do we?
No.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah. So it's a good thing to do. It's a good thing for everyone to be more active, isn't it?
Definitely, and especially with these nights drawing in. Let's do something about it and let's not be couch potatoes.
Right, and on that note, thanks. So when's your next class, Claire?
Oh, what day are we today? Let me have a think. Tomorrow morning. Here we go.
Well, enjoy it. Thanks, girls. Good to see you.
And you too.